There's a threat in the world today. A threat to our way of living, a threat to our society, and maybe even a threat to our very existence. And what is this threat?
We have come to.
Oh, you want to look at a recap? Is that
Well, this is a recap. This is going to run over a little bit, so not a big deal because we got a couple teams we want to recap about. But our basketball hasn't really kicked in.
No. Go back to the NFL. We're all been waiting on.
But it's a recap. So let's talk about the teams that are out of the playoffs and what direction. No, I'm not starting with him because I want to give some teams positive reinforcement.
Oh, okay.
And if I start with them, they all suck.
Right. We'll put you in a downward spiral the rest of the night.
So we've had a coaching carousel go on the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. One, I think, might be the most retarded thing I've ever heard in the coaching world. Cleveland fires. Cincinnati hires. That's your leading candidate?
I'm sorry, I don't.
That's your leading candidate.
Do you really think that Cleveland's coach, the second coach this year, deserved to get fired?
The one that got him 6 wins got fired too?
Yes. Wow, I put Damon's about to go off. Sit back, relax, and here it comes, folks.
We're not going to go off. We're just going to say this is why Cleveland is the most poorly ran franchise in all of franchisedom.
Well,
I mean, it's terrible. I mean, Philly, the Sixers had a plan. It was trust the process. Mm-hmm. Had a plan. Now look at them now.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, this is terrible. I
just had to say something to get him fired up, I guess.
I mean, that's fired up because why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
Let him confirm that before we start going on your rant.
But anyway, still, hi Angie.
What up, Angie?
But I still think that.
Hold on, no.
What?
There we go.
What?
Get to this one. Hi. Everybody.
Is there a bunch of people in there?
Nope.
Here comes Ange.
Here we go.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Angie's here. This is Angie from the Tavern, the Stadium Tavern.
Bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Say hi.
Hi,
She keeps the beer flowing and the shots going.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
the
sir.
food.
And the food.
Good food.
Grilling.
So you guys have already told him about Taco Tuesday on Thursday.
Yes, Taco Tuesday on Thursday.
Tomorrow. So we have a variety of tacos. If you didn't already know, we have beef tacos. Okay, why?
False.
False. Awesome.
Well, I didn't hear what was down. Was
Not your
was
falseness.
mine.
No, you're good. It was
Okay.
It was a sports thing
that
I was lying about.
Yeah. I'm a chick, not too much on, I know a little bit, but not too much even on, just like vehicles. I know too much about vehicles either. This has been my tragic life here on my vacation. So.
You can tell she's ready to be back home.
That's why I said, honey, I'm home.
Have another.
Yeah. So anyways, tomorrow we have 50-cent tacos, beef, hard or soft. You can get... for $1, we have chicken or pork. I think that's what, or $1 chicken, I'm sorry, and maybe $2 for pork and shrimp. Comes with lettuce and cheese. You can get these carry out, but you have to come in and order them. We do not take in call-in orders.
Come in.
Yes,
You can't get hard or soft on the phone.
Bam.
You can't get anything on the phone because we don't reply. We don't even answer. We don't even take orders over the phone. So, in fact, we don't even have a bar phone. That would be the owner.
Wah,
if you call. So, and then we have $3 margaritas. We have $3 imports, meaning all your Mexican imports. Corona, Corona Light, Modelo's,
Modelo.
and Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
Modelos
Florida,
Dark.
I thought I was Spanish.
Modelos
but I
Especial.
spoke a lot of Spanish that I didn't even know. So, anyways, I'm going back to work. I got to prepare for
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Reggie.
Prepare for Taco Tuesday on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Okay. All right. All right. We're done with Cleveland. I don't even want to talk about Cleveland no more. They didn't fire the interim coach. Thank you, because I was getting ready to let them have it.
Him?
I will say they're probably going to hire McCarthy or Peyton Manning that's in the owner's ear.
Oh, this is terrible. I don't even want to talk about Cleveland anymore. So let's move on. So we got a couple teams that are out of the playoffs that expected to do better that did not. One, we have Green Bay. I expected Green Bay to be a playoff team, and they did not. And obviously, Aaron Rodgers was more concerned about his travel vacations with Danica Patrick than he was with might want to reel it in, buddy.
We forgot to mention what tomorrow
I
is.
forgot to tell you guys, my birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
back.
bartending.
Happy
So,
birthday.
I'll be
Yay.
at my young age of 29.
There
Again,
you go.
29 plus
Some
6.
wrinkles.
It happens.
43, guys, 43.
Uh-oh.
So,
Uh-oh.
anyways, come on up and see me. Have some tacos and drink some beer.
Tacos and beer.
Bam.
Can't beat
Birthday
it.
bash.
So, Chris won at Green Bay at 12-4 or 5. And we see. Yeah, so they got a lot of stuff going on in Green Bay that I don't think is really out there. They're being better at keeping their secrets in-house.
Yeah, there's something going on.
I'm anxious to see who they hire as the coach and the dynamic that they have with Aaron Rodgers. I'm almost to the point, like, they might want to start looking for his replacement, not like in the next year or two.
Like now.
But I'm thinking that, he seems to be looking forward to being a celebrity husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure if he's still in football the way he was. But they got a lot of holes they need to fill. They need, I think they need to secure the running back position. I think they need to get some people on the outside. Green Bay's hurting on the offensive side of things.
Yep.
Defense, I think they're okay.
They're right there in the mix on the defense. The offense is lost.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what really went on between McCarthy, Rodgers, the rest of the team, Rodgers, ownership, McCarthy. I don't know really what's going on, but like you said, that there's definitely something going on.
What it boils down to is all the years we had Ted Thompson as GM.
All the years they had Ted Thompson as a GM.
Thompson wasn't doing anything.
To keep
Rejuvenation of the team. I mean, like
youth.
when the
Youth.
Bulls had Peyton Manning, they had receivers lined up.
Hold on.
Somebody went
Hold
down.
on.
Yeah, give him the mic. Get the mic, dog.
So
Pick up the mic.
they never had anything in line to rebuild. So they left these same players because it goes back to when we had Greg Jennings and all that, and then we bring in Cobb and Devontae Adams and some receivers like that where we had nobody behind them. We didn't have another crop coming in. Ted Thompson wasn't doing anything in the offseason to get these free agent players or players that we needed to fill the holes where we were weak. So now that he's gone and McCarthy's gone, now we're basically rebuilding. I heard that.
All right, so there we have it from the Packers' perspective of what's going on in Green Bay. I'm anxious to see what they do in the draft. I'm anxious to see what they do in free agency. I'm really trying to figure, because I think they got about maybe a 3-week window to snatch up their head coach. That way they can concentrate on the draft and free agency when it comes up. So I'd like to see what's going on in Green Bay. I think the other big headline is down in Arizona.
That's a headline.
How do you fire a guy after 1 year with a rookie quarterback?
Arizona's Arizona's the next coming of the past Browns, and the Browns.
Fitzgerald needs to get out.
Yeah, but
Either retire or leave.
he'll retire before.
Then he needs to retire because he should not be.
Does he have one more year on the contract, or is this it?
I don't care what it is.
It?
I think he needs to retire. Get out of there, man. It's not good for you. Get out of there. I mean, how do you fire a guy after 1 year with a rookie quarterback?
You don't.
I mean, you weren't planning on winning games with a rookie quarterback anyway. Because it's rare that you have guys come in and win 8, 9, 10, 7, 10, 11 games.
Well, look how many quarterbacks they've had over the years. Over the past, 6 years, they've had 9, 10 quarterbacks.
Yes.
Because they're giving them literally a game.
The only team that's had more is Cleveland.
What are you doing there, man? What are you doing?
I mean, that makes no sense to me. You don't have you. I mean, and then the statement, like they said on ESPN, the statement that they gave was, "We made the wrong choice, or we didn't make the right decision." What happened in a year that you didn't make the right decision? I mean, you didn't do your homework when you hired the guy.
Well, you should.
I mean, when you hired the guy, you should have known there was going to be some issues. You have no running game. You have a very weak defense. The only name and the only player on your team is Larry Fitzgerald.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah. I agree
So
wholeheartedly.
what did you expect to happen in Arizona with this rookie quarterback and rookie coach?
Well, then that tells you right there what kind of management and ownership that they have.
Right.
Plain
It's
and
terrible.
simple.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
I wish I. Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible. So, going with the theme of recap of teams, let's go into New York and talk about the Giants.
Well,
they got a lot of decisions to make. Me,
Eli's going.
I say blow it up. Eli, here's your chance. Here's your choices: retire or get cut.
It's time.
I mean, retire or get cut. You know, Odell Beckham Jr., sorry, bud, I'm putting you on the trading block. Blow it up and build around Saquon Barkley. Draft your quarterback and build around Saquon Barkley and your new quarterback. Send Eli on his way because he has not done anything since his last miraculous Super Bowl victory, which I don't even know how they got there. But whatever, you won it. You got 2. Take your 2. Move on. If you still want to play, there's a lot of teams that could use a guy with a talent like yours. Maybe going to another team will rejuvenate your spirit a little bit. I don't really know, but I think the New York Giants and the Eli Manning need to. I think it's time for them to separate.
It's definitely time.
And you need to get rid of Odell Beckham. I'm sorry.
Odell Beckham has always been, will always be a player that is very dynamic on the field, yet very, very selfish when it comes to everything. I mean, when you have a player that's like that this isn't wrestling. This isn't fighting. This is not a one-on-one sport.
Fighting.
You have 10 team members out there with you on that field at every play. You have to take into consideration the whole team. Is this better for my team, or is me catching 500 freaking passes or whatever? Is that stat? Does that stat that I have, that record, have more effect on this team than me helping this team?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he needs to figure out.
Look, I've never been an Odell Beckham fan. He has a lot of talent that I think is just being misused by the organization, and I think he has a lot of talent that he is wasting on himself. Wow. And that's pretty much what I got with Odell Beckham and the Giants. I just think they need to blow it up, draft a new quarterback, and build around the quarterback and Saquon Barkley. You know what I mean? I'd like it. I mean, Haskins and Barkley, that'd be a nice go. I like that. I mean, and they're already familiar with each other too, being Big Ten athletes. So, and that takes us. Let's go to what was another team I was thinking about?
Can't talk about Philly because we're still in it.
Nope, it wasn't Philly. It wasn't Jacksonville.
They suck.
I'm gonna get there.
He's getting there.
I'm getting there. There was another one I wanted
Like
to talk
good
about.
or bad?
I think it was kind of medium.
Miami.
No, wait a minute. So new Carolina,
Oh shit.
the Panthers.
That's not you, man.
And all I gotta say
Oh,
about
yeah,
and then
about
Tampa Bay, get rid of Jameis, and then all your problems will go away. And then go back to Carolina. I'm almost to the point that, you know what I mean, it's you need to start to reevaluate Cam's position with that organization. And then you also need to look at their GM because they haven't put a lot of weapons around, and the weapons that they have put around Cam have not been able to live up to what the hype that they were supposed to bring in. And you can't really just say Cam, get rid of Cam, because Cam was an MVP quarterback 2 years ago.
Right.
I mean, he was an MVP quarterback.
I'm not saying get rid of him, but well, I'm surprised. I will definitely be surprised if we hear Ron Rivera is coming back to coach them next year.
I will agree with that. Even though his Pepsi commercial is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I do. The wife says Sean McVay jacked the grading curve for all rookie quarterbacks. Agreed. I mean, he comes in as a rookie coach, and you come in with Jared Goff, and the next thing you know, you win 11 games. Yeah, that kind of does blow up the curve a little bit.
Well, okay, so I mean, Dallas had that. They didn't have a rookie coach, but they had a rookie quarterback in Dak Prescott. In his rookie season, they were like, "Oh, we're good." No,
But well,
They
yeah,
got Garrett.
because he was
Garrett.
the one you got Garrett, and then two you have golf.
Take a picture, everybody.
Two, you had there was a little better established team around Dak when he came in.
I agree.
You know, when Golf came in, everybody. When McVay came in, everybody was almost new and young. So that gives you a little bit more that he's done a little bit more than what Dak has done or Deshaun Watson has done when they come in as rookies as well. Well,
I think so.
I think the only other quarterback that had a like that was Russell Wilson when he came in as a rookie, and they won, turned it around immediately. But then again, he still had a defense that he came in with. So,
Okay. All right.
and then that brings us to
Yeah. Here we go,
the
folks.
famed 6-time Super Bowl champions Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hold on. Is this a good time for me to go pee?
But anyway, no,
I'll be
you
back
might
for
want
like 2.5
to
minutes.
stay around for that.
Okay. I'll listen.
So, first off, very disappointing season for such high hopes, not just with Pittsburgh fans, not just in the Pittsburgh organization, but in the NFL as a whole. You're returning the most dynamic offensive football team back. All your weapons, Pro Bowl quarterback, Pro Bowl receiver, rookie of the offensive rookie talent, wide receiver. You missed Le'Veon Bell. I think it affected it later on in the year, but James Conner came in and done well. Your problems weren't on the field. Your problems were inside the organization, which me as a Mike Tomlin fan, I question his ability to lead this team. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers have only had 3 coaches since 1969, and there's a reason for that.
Right.
Because their coaches had total respect and control of their football team. We've had more social media outbursts than I've ever seen in the social media era. You know what I mean? But and like you speak of that, I read this morning Antonio Brown once traded. But then I read right before we came in to do the show, Mike Tomlin says we have heard anything from Antonio Brown requesting to be traded.
Right.
We don't know anything, and I follow Antonio Brown on Twitter. He hadn't said anything about being traded.
Right.
He hadn't made any funny memes or any emojis or anything about being traded. So what's going on?
Right.
So you got sources that have sources in the organization that don't know what's going on. All this is being put out. Last week, he doesn't play because he's injured with a sore knee. But then 2 days after that, we have a blow-up between him and Ben Roethlisberger. He throws a football at Ben Roethlisberger. Then he doesn't come back to practice. He doesn't play. Ben Roethlisberger goes in and they asked him on a radio show. He's like, dude, he's one of my best friends. I don't know what's going on. But then you turn around and say, I texted him a couple of times and called him, but he didn't return my message. Well, if he's such a good friend and there's no issues, why didn't he return your message? I mean, earlier in the year, earlier in this conversation, I was like, Ben's a Super Bowl winning quarterback twice. He didn't have these issues with receivers. But then I look at it, where there's smoke, there's fire. You have issues before in locker rooms, Ben Roethlisberger, in the Pittsburgh organization. They was going to trade you at one point in time.
Right.
So what is going on? So this all leads me back to Mike Tomlin. You have no control over your football team. And obviously the Steelers are going to keep you, and I'm cool with that. But over this offseason, you need to figure it out.
I agree.
Too many mental mistakes for the football season. Offsides on a game-winning missed field goal. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Mm-hmm. That's mental. Mm-hmm. You led the league in pass interference calls. That's mental. That's coaching. That's not putting the right people in the right places at the right time. So, sorry, if we come with this same crap next year, hey, you got to go, bro. We need quarterback number 4 since 1969, or coach number 4 since 1969.
But and saying that, it's kind of the same deal.
Well, they pretty much stick to coaches too.
Yeah.
You had so much turmoil within the team and organization.
Here's
centered around you.
Well, here's my thing. Everybody is talking about it's centered around you. It's centered around you. Well, the league and the media and the public have made these quarterbacks an untouchable person in this world that, oh, my God, we don't want to piss the quarterback off. We don't want to piss the quarterback off. We don't want to piss the quarterback off.
I mean, and that's how it's coming down because who's the highest paid player on your team?
The quarterback.
The quarterback. And when you have offensive issues in any team, not just Pittsburgh, when you have offensive issues in any team, who gets the blame? The coach and the quarterback.
I was going to say, because in Pittsburgh, ain't much blame going on Roethlisberger at all. It's going towards Tomlin more.
Well, it's going towards Tomlin because Ben Roethlisberger, because even though Ben Roethlisberger had the most interceptions he's had in a long time, he still led the league in passing yards.
No, okay.
With all the winning that Drew Brees did, Ben Roethlisberger still led the league in passing yards.
And where's Ben sitting?
Exactly.
Right, okay, that's what I'm saying. So why is it the coach though?
It's the coach because you have no control of what's going on with your football team.
I agree.
You see this? You see this going on in New England?
Well, I asked you about 5 weeks ago or so when something happened. I don't remember what it was, but I asked about your twin, and you were saying, he'll be all right. I don't think that there's anything going on.
Because I thought he'd figure it out. I thought he'd get it under control, but he did not. He did not.
So how long?
I thought it was very karmatic that since week 10, when you were on your 7-game winning streak, Le'Veon Bell does not come back. He does not show up week 10. So that means he's no longer a part of the football team. And what do you low-class people do other than Antonio Brown? He was the only person that defended Le'Veon Bell in this whole situation. What do? You rummage through the man's locker on social network. And guess what happened after that? You lose 4 of your last 5 or 4 of your last 6 games, and you don't make the playoffs. That's not Pittsburgh Steelers football, and that's happening under Mike Tomlin's watch. Period.
Okay, so how long do you give him?
I give him maybe half a season. I gave him probably a full season. I'll give him probably a full season. I don't understand,
man. You can't let a coach go, even a 500 coach, go in the middle of the season like. I want
to do half a season. It has to be the whole season, either before the season or the whole season.
That's how I feel.
And they're not going to get rid of him before the season, so it'd have to be after the season.
Hell yeah, it was. That was. Man,
I don't like getting rid of coaches in midseason in pros or in college. I don't like it. It's bad for the team, and it's bad for your recruiting.
Morale's already low.
Right. Morale's already low because you're losing, and then you get rid of your coach. What up, Alan Atwell in the house?
That word karmatic. Can you use that?
Karmatic in a sentence.
Hell no, he cannot use that in a sentence. He couldn't tell you what it means.
But everybody got it. Yes, my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law are in this evening to watch us give you guys crappy sports news.
Yes, please.
Karmatic, yes, wife Karmatic.
Well, what was it here? Hold on, you know what? Hold on here, folks.
All right, so we didn't talk about any college football, Daniel.
What do we really need to talk about college football?
I'm sure you don't want to talk about. I know Notre Dame beat Michigan, but I'm sure you don't want to talk about that ass whooping that Clemson delivered. Did y'all even leave South Bend? Hold on. Is it a word? It's a real word. Here's the definition. Alan.
Here is the
definition for karmatic.
I looked it up. Tell me. Speak.
Here, I'll let you say it.
I'll let you read it. Okay. You read it.
Okay, here we go. No, that's karma. Hold on. Well, karmatic. Oh, you got it up? Oh, yeah. See,
the wife says she's twitching on the floor over here because I'm making up words. And this is the Scrabble Queen.
Alan, this is, by the way, real quick, that's you.
Recap of bowl games. Let's see.
Hold on. Hold on, Alan. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Alan's live.
Okay. Indian philosophy, the total effect of a person's action, both mental and physical, on his or her existence. A person's present state, including health, and determined by action of previous existence, and present action determine their destiny of future existence.
Karmatic. It is a word. Thesaurus. Yeah, buddy. Look at the big brain on Damon.
We know what book he has on the back of the shitter, folks.
So, wife, you can stop twitching on the floor. Karmatic is a word, and I used it properly. All right, so quick rundown of bowl games. Yep. Kentucky beats Penn State by 3. Big game for Kentucky's football.
Not belong in that big of a bowl this year. Sorry. Not at all.
True, I agree.
Hold on. Tomlin gets fired right after the Browns win the North next year. It's a possibility.
It is a possibility. But no,
Tomlin gets fired right after the Browns win the North next season.
Mm-hmm.
Very possible.
Awesome.
At the same time, Brian Kelly gets fired too.
Brian Kelly's going to the league.
I hear.
I think that was a big win for Kentucky's football program. I mean, I know Penn State shouldn't have been in the bowl game, but it's still Penn State, and that's a big win.
And you're a basketball school.
Right, and you're a basketball school.
You're a basketball school.
Rose Bowl, Urban Meyer's last game, they win over Washington.
It was a lot closer than what I thought.
Ohio State kind of didn't really show up in the second half.
No.
Washington battled back, but they couldn't pull it off.
way to go out on your career, though. Never played in that stadium. Never been in the
Yeah,
Rose Bowl.
yeah, that's true.
Your last game, and you win.
Urban Meyer is 44-15 in big games and playing against ranked teams.
What's Hardball's?
I think he's like 3-17. And that's including Stanford. That's including Stanford.
Ouch.
All right, so Harbaugh's got another year for me, and I'm singing the going back to the league chants.
Is this his 4th year coming up?
This is his 5th year coming up. So this year is 100% his recruits.
Yeah, you're done.
This is his 5th year, 100% his recruits. Little bit. What we got? Sugar Bowl, Texas dominate. The score does not reflect the dominance that Texas put on Georgia in this football game.
Been saying it for weeks now. Texas is underrated.
And
anybody who told me that Georgia belonged in the top 4 over Notre Dame and Oklahoma, I'm sorry. Check the scoreboard because Texas just beat you.
I never thought Georgia should have belonged in that top 4.
Should have belonged.
Should have belonged. Yes, I
Got
was
2
never
losses.
a fan of Georgia. There were 2 losses that should have never been in the conversation.
Yep, done deal.
I mean, if you said Georgia should have been in there, Michigan should have been there. 2 losses? Come on, get out of here. That's as ridiculous as a statement.
There she is.
Hey!
Our lovely chef Kara came out from the back.
She's walking away. She don't want him to be online.
She makes a great burgers. That's what I
Burgers.
forgot.
Wednesday.
Stadium Tavern. Wednesdays, $4 burger and tots, man.
Yeah, $4 in tots and $4 pints.
We are still waiting on people to let us know what the name of the black and white.
Yeah, they don't care about us. We got to name our own
All
burger.
right, let's see. What?
Tag you.
Tagging it.
That's not the kind of show that we do here.
We just gained 2,000 subscribers.
Yes. So that brings us to. I'm still not going to talk about Clemson whooping Notre Dame's ass. So that brings us to the final game of Alabama and Clemson. I like Clemson.
Alabama and Clemson.
I like Clemson.
I am going to have to. I'm going to agree. I think Clemson's the team to beat, folks. I think their offense is just going to be a little bit too much.
Yeah, this is not Alabama's best defensive football team in the last couple of years, and I think Clemson has the offensive firepower to go at them.
Yep, I agree.
I like Clemson.
I like Clemson, too.
All right, so once again, that was football for Black and White Sports. The one, the ass.
802 Southwest Street, Stadium Tavern. Follow us, like us, share us, subscribe. Facebook, Twitter, Apple Music, Google Music, SoundCloud, iTunes. What else is there? Twitter. At BW Sports 1, at BW Sports Damon, and at BW Sports Dan. Follow us, like, share, subscribe, compare, whatever.
Do something that has to do with Black and White Sports.
Yes. Tag us. Hit the button. Hashtag hit the button.
Shoot, if you want us to do a location shot at your garage, we'll do that.
Yeah. We ain't scared.
Yeah, we ain't scared. We come sit in your lair.
Right, in your lair.
And broadcast live. Ain't no heat.
Yeah, summertime.